Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Naama and lalush here on Steps of War. Here we have Naama spawning over here on the north side of the map as the blue Terran player. Meanwhile on the south side of the map we have lalush spawning as the red Zerg. Now Steps of War is one of those really small maps here, so I'm kind of curious as to how everything will be playing out and how these particular players will try to adapt to everything that's going to be happening on this map. I did cast one game between Naama and lalush. It was a very interesting game. In fact, I think lalush taking that game on Lost Temple when a lot of people believe that Terran is when Lost Temple really favors Terran. So taking a look at the production, we should probably be seeing a supply depot coming in momentarily. But yeah, there it goes. Now going in for a supply depot. Normally, I think Naama went for a refinery first, but I would not normally suggest this, especially on Steps of War, just because there are only one spawning location between these two, on this map, or sorry, two spawning locations on this map. A 6 pool or a 7 pool is a very large possibility. We'll see if Naama in fact goes for an early refinery, and he does go for an early refinery, so very lucky for him that lalush did not try to go for any 6 or 7 pool. So lalush pretty much opening with a standard build instead, and now with that refinery it is going to delay when that barracks will be coming out, going for a 13 racks instead of a 12, and that is going to put a little bit of a damper on this field. However, when this barracks does come into play, and now we do see a drone now coming in, so the drone will notice that this SCV is very free to take harassment. So that SCV now trying to pull back, already taking down to 20 points of damage, and now down to 15, so down to 10 hit points. Will it get taken down is the key question. Now moves away that drone. That drone currently has 16 hit points, trying to deal damage again. Once again, that drone down to 8. So continuing to move back around, and yeah, sorry about this, and wow, that was very annoying. Okay, so sorry about that. As my screen temporarily turned black, I got the blue screen of death earlier, so I had to relaunch my computer and all of that fun stuff. So Naama now currently getting that refinery up and running, will be able to get up to 100 gas in just a moment. Will this drone be able to take down that SCV? SCV currently at 11/45, so it will take 3 hits from this drone. However, that drone now down to 4 hit points himself, and now an SCV finally moving out. We do see the spawning pool already up. I don't see any sort of roach warren in play, as a drone now going to probably grow up to be a hatchery over here on the natural expansion. We do see an SCV now coming in. This drone just sitting in this base for some reason, not denying the gas. I think that's what I suspected lalush to be doing, and there we go, finally denying the gas over here as we see a factory being laid down. So this is going to be a barracks into a factory. You do see that there is going to be a placement of a tech lab and then another supply depot here. This is very important, especially here on Steps of War. What this allows you to do is you can put a bunker here, and then you eventually have a very strong position. We do have one Marine now trying to take down this extractor, but that extractor will just continue to be built and rebuilt. However, now Zergling's going to try to come in onto this ramp and put pressure and harassment on this location here. We do see a Hellion now being trained. Will those Zerglings be able to get any damage off, as now a Marine coming back over, going to start shooting at these Zerglings. One Zergling will get taken down. No, will not get taken down, as they're able to pull back just in time. We do see a reactor now being placed down. So as that reactor is being placed down, we will most likely see a factory swap here in order to double train Hellions. Back over here, it looks as though that the drone was already taken down, and the Marine was able to shoot down that drone and take him down before he was able to grow up to be another hatchery. We do see a starport now coming into play. So Naama opening up with a 1-1-1 build, which is not very typical against Zerg. So we may see a dropship coming in just a moment. Steps of War dropship is very important. That Hellion trying to splash as much damage around as possible will be able to get 2 Zergling kills very quickly, and now going the other 2 over here. There is a queen, however, so that queen will be coming in. However, the Hellion completely ignoring that queen may try to go after these drones. However, now Roach is joining in on this fight, so one more Roach currently being trained, in addition to another queen down over here at the natural expansion. However, currently supply locked, so lalush currently supply locked, unable to really do anything. And now we have a Banshee coming into play. So an early Banshee coming into play. lalush did in fact see that there is a starport creating training up a Banshee. However, did not see the tech lab, whether or not it was researching cloak. We are not near tier 2 yet, but lalush has to throw down an evolution chamber in order to be able to deal with the potential of that Banshee harassment. We do see Hellions using that range of 5 against that range of 3 against that Roach over here. Roach taking some damage, but doesn't have to worry too much. Roach is with that natural 1 armor against those Hellions that only deal 8 damage per every 2.5 seconds. and especially when it's not splash, it is very difficult. So those Hellions perhaps going to try to get some damage in onto this Roach over here, able to just cause that unit to constantly scurry around. The Roaches now trying to push out a little bit further. Will they be able to deal damage to these Hellions? And now trying to use that ramp. So Roaches using that ramp very, very well, denying sight on those Hellions until they get within range on those Roaches. Very nicely done. We do see a command center being built at the natural expansion. Over here we do have a factory, one Banshee currently in play, moving out. So Banshee and Hellion once again moving out to try to deal damage towards these Roaches. Roaches trying to chase after this Hellion, and down it goes, but this Roach will get taken down once again. So 2 Hellions and 1 Banshee may be able to push through. However, a Spore Crawler now coming into play, a second Spore Crawler now coming into play. So really investing heavily into Spore Crawlers, and this may not work out well. Naama will simply just be able to transfer from that Starport Banshee harassment into most likely Vikings or something else. Back over here, we do see an SCV for some reason not repairing these units and now pulling back once again. Most likely decided that it was not worth it. As soon as he saw these Spore Crawlers, he knew that those Banshees would not be able to take that much damage from them. Spore Crawlers dealing 15 damage with a 0.86 attack, which is what? A little bit or much stronger than a Marine. It's like 2.5 Marines per attack, and now in come these Banshees. Banshees now going after this over here, gonna take some damage here. Down goes 2 quick drones, and now those Banshees doing that hit and attack, moving back and forth. Will it be enough? No, Queens now making their way over, and this Banshee will be forced to pull back. These Banshees really need to be repaired. I do not see any cloaking research coming in. We do have Stimpack and these Queens. Spore Crawler now also moving into that back position over here. Will these Banshees be able to find another? However, no. One quick Queen over here, now going after that low hit point Banshee. That Banshee, one of them already taken down, and this Banshee over here down to 77 hit points, will not be able to deal that much damage, and things are not looking good for Naama at all. Really brilliant play by the Zerg player lalush at this stage in the game. Currently now training up some infestors. I do not see any Hydralisk Den yet, just Roaches. So it may be Roaches and infestors. And with that strategy in mind, you should probably start researching Burrow. Burrow is a very strong ability to start researching, especially for that additional regeneration. Missile turrets now being placed down by Naama. Naama probably suspecting that there's going to be some sort of Spire play. However, no Spires at this time. And now you can see we are now researching into Hive Tech. So Hive Tech now coming in, and perhaps for some Ultralisk against the number of Banshees we've seen in play so far. Those Banshees will just be able to deal a lot of damage towards those Ultralisk. Ultralisk really need to get the additional armor upgrade. We do see one Queen perhaps now trying to move out. Lalush trying to lay down that creep as quickly as possible in order to get some additional damage. And one Banshee down to 14 hit points, the other down to 58. We need to see some additional units. Siege Tech is currently being researched along with the level 1 weapons upgrade for those infantry units. That's going to be a very dead Queen in just a moment. And now Roach is now coming out as well. We do see a bunker coming into play. Roaches and Banshees offering a lot of air support. Those Roaches are focus firing, trying to take down as many Marines as possible, but the air support is just way too strong. And Naama not even investing heavily into any of that, into the cloaking research. And in comes an Infestor though. Infestor with a very nice fungal growth, dealing a lot of damage across these units. Will that Banshee get taken down? No. All these units now in the red. One SCV trying to repair all of these. This bunker over here has been completed, and these Marines probably will jump inside in just a moment. We do see Marines and Marauders siege tank a little bit in the further back position, and this army, Naama sitting on a 1500 mineral army now, switching quickly into this infantry build, may work out fairly well. We do see some drones, and now in comes one Infestor, spawning an infested Terran, and that was it. That was probably a really wasted play there, as these units now trying to move out. Lalush trying to use Queens to deal damage, and now taking down that one siege tank here. However, there is a bunker, and this air support, Naama has nothing to deal with those Banshees, and this is just a very bad position. Naama with those Banshees, Lalush with no real way to deal with this. We do see one Spore Crawler here, so that Spore Crawler will be able to shoo those Banshees back again. So will it be enough? We do see Marines and Marauders here, siege tanks trying to move into position, perhaps start dealing damage onto this cliff over here. And as soon as there's a Raven now doing a quick scanner sweep, now going to start denying any of those creep tumors. So all these creep tumors that Lalush was trying to build for so long in order to get that additional movement speed, all this creep will be receding. And now Naama in a very strong position with these siege tanks. 800 mineral army versus 2350, and I do not see how Naama can really lose this game at this stage, only by making a very horrible mistake. Taking a look at the unit production, we do see the level 1 armor upgrades, and now an Ultralisk Cavern joining in on this fight. We do see another Queen coming in, but those Queens are not really able to deal that much damage against those Banshees enough, especially with those siege tanks able to blast away at this extractor and trying to continue to push and deal more damage. Combat shield now being researched. We do see some Banshee trying to clean up the rest of this army here. 950 versus 2900. Naama just taking his time, trying to not make any mistakes, pushing very, very slowly with his attack. No concussive shells, and now in comes some roaches. So those roaches going to take a lot of damage from these units. Marines now cleaning up these overlords out of the sky. 7184. So 41 harvesters, 39 harvesters versus 49 as this hatchery is going to go down. There is a decent amount of larvae down here, and perhaps just waiting for Ultralisk to be trained. And the Ultralisk cavern has been created, so perhaps it's needing to wait more and more. And now training up 3 additional Ultralisks. Ultralisk, however, taking 70 units of time. Will they be trained in time? There are a lot of Marines on the ground. Marines with that level 1 weapons upgrade. And more Ultralisks over here, so all these larvae will get shot down or will die as soon as that creep proceeds. We do see Marines and Marauders now pushing in over here. Will they be able to finish off all of these drones in the back of the base? With these drones just trying to hide over here, this Spore Crawler will get taken down, and that will be a little bit of an issue. It will be take down that medevac, so now those Marines and Marauders will have a much more difficult time. These drones trying to figure out what to do. We do not have any ventral stack upgrade, so those drones cannot jump into that Overlord and try to retreat onto that high ground. So down it goes as these Marines and Marauders are able to finish that over here. We do see one Overlord here, and now some Ultralisks just gathering out in the front. We do also see the additional armor upgrade trying to be researched. So we do have 2 armor on those Ultralisks. However, those Ultralisks are going to have a problem trying to deal with those Banshees. Banshees, with that very, very fast attack, even with the armor reduction, those Banshees will be able to take down those Ultralisks relatively quickly. We do see that these rocks have been shot down as well, so I'm not exactly sure why Naama wants to open this up. Marauders perhaps going to try to push up, and we'll see what's going to be happening. We do see some bunkers now being placed down, giving additional range to these Marauders once they are inside their medevacs. Only 2 medevacs currently in position, needs to get even more, as now lalush is restricted into 1 base play. Back over here, the Ultralisk Cavern was taking some damage, I believe, from some Banshee harassment. However, the Spore Caller was able to push that back, and I believe there was was it a Banshee harassment or a drop? Not 100% sure anymore. I will have to recap this replay at some point. And anyways, back over here, we do have some more Marines and Marauders. The army continuing to mass up. 4950 versus 2100. As this fight continues, SCV is being transferred over here to this high yield or to this high ground expansion over here with those destructible rocks not yet destroyed. So Naama just slowly building into the base. Vikings now coming in to deal damage to those Overlords. Overlords now supply locking lalush at 87/82. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between lalush and Naama here on Steps of War.